Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Westworld. This is Season 1, Episode 8, and last time Bernard was revealed to be a host. That was the big shocker of the episode. We also had Maeve plotting to get out of Westworld, out of the park. Billy trying to figure out who he is, going even further to the outskirts of the park. Falling in love with Dolores, sleeping with her. Curious to see how all of this plays out. We didn't see Teddy or the Man in Black last episode. We also didn't see what happened to Elsie, sorry. And so I have a feeling we'll see more of them this episode. But yeah, I'm excited to continue. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started.
Bring yourself back online,
Bernard. Do you remember what you did?
I killed her. What have I done? What have I done?
This guilt you feel, the anguish, the horror, the pain. It's remarkable.
I cared for Teresa. Loved her. Why did you make me kill her? I will not help you.
That's anger on his face for sure.
Raise this place to hell.
It's enough, Bernard. I don't need a simulacrum of an emotionally ruined man. I need you to be yourself, your true self. Smart, resourceful, capable of covering your tracks.
Hasn't he been fired? Shouldn't he
When you
his
have
access be
finished,
revoked?
I will give you the one thing you want most right now. I will free you from those memories of what you have done.
This is very different from wanting to remember it, because wanting the pain, like it.
Not much of a rind on you. Sure would make my day if you bought me a drink and let me show you around upstairs.
What's upstairs?
This fellow won't take me long. I'll be back directly.
One moment I'm with a little girl in a different life. I can't tell which is real.
When we remember things, the details are hazy, imperfect. But you recall memories perfectly.
Every host's spine, mine included, has an explosive charge which will detonate if I try to leave. Isn't that right?
Oh.
A fail-safe. I'll need allies. And to get them, I'll need administrative privileges.
Holy crap.
Water.
Will you?
He didn't want to.
How'd you know about the train?
Word from Pariah. New recruit. Along.
New recruit.
Logan.
Yeah. Whoa!
Come find me.
Jesus, Teresa.
Has her family been notified?
It appears to have been a slip and fall. Cervical fracture, massive hematoma. No guests or hosts in the vicinity when it occurred.
It seems yesterday's demonstration was a hoax designed by Miss Cullen.
Was it?
I examined the code. It had been altered.
Parts of me are quite old. There are some elegant, formal structures. There are things in me.
Oh.
Things I was designed to do that are just out of my reach. Who is Arnold? The things I need you to change are quite sophisticated, but I'll write them down for you.
We do this thing. Get her up to behavior. It's our only chance.
You're gonna do it.
Fuck, no. Get her up there. Then we wipe her out.
I'm scared these guys are gonna die now. These two dumbos.
The thing is, you never understand the game is rigged. You're here to be the loser.
Loser.
That's the first time we've seen him start to access old memories.
It's
He
you.
might.
I figured they retired you. Guess Ford never likes to waste a pretty face.
Wait, is she the one who brought William into the park?
Actually, I did remember something. You.
Oh.
It was never gonna end any other way. And this was the least painful way she's ever got out.
Whoa!
Jesus fuck! What did you do?
Precisely what I asked him to. Changed a little more than that.
Uh-oh.
We've been tinkering with my core code.
No, 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 no.
Come on. We might need him.
Cauterizing the wound. So she did that to send a fucking message?
In fact, Maeve's tab was in such excellent standing. She deserved a token of gratitude.
What? How did she could just she has the
How about a double round on me? Top shelf, of course.
she can just change the programming like that? The storyline like that?
And on you.
And the bartender suddenly recalled he had some whiskey in the back to water down. Right on time.
Heck to Ascaton.
The sheriff judged the riders to be upstanding, God-fearing citizens.
What? Seems legit. She's like, what the fuck? Kills him anyway.
The marshals decided to practice their quick draws with each other.
Lifelike, but not alive. Pain only exists in the mind. It's always imagined.
This was the very question that consumed Arnold. Humans fancy that there's something special about the way we perceive the world, and yet we live in loops as tight and as closed as the hosts do.
One last thing. Have you ever made me hurt anyone like this before?
No, Bernard.
Big bullshit. It's empty. Wait, what?
Well done, Maeve. Lovely work.
What are you doing? Are you okay? I was calling you and you just kept going.
Is this now? Am I going mad? Are you real? This is what Arnold wants. He wants me to remember.
Uh-oh.
Meaning scouting party?
Maybe they can take us back.
Oh.
Man, are you two fucked? This has always been a mystery to me.
Uh-oh.
For all the time we spent together, I still have no idea who the hell you really are.
I'm a god. Titan of industry.
Huh.
Philanthropist. Family man. I'm the good guy, Teddy. Last year, my wife took the wrong pills. And at the funeral, I tried to console my daughter. She pushed me away. Told me that my wife's death was no accident. That she killed herself.
Did you hurt them too?
Never. They never saw anything like the man I am in here. She said if I stacked up all my good deeds, it was just an elegant wall I built to hide what's inside from everyone.
Like most
And
philanthropists.
from I found a woman, an ordinary homesteader, and her daughter.
Oh man, all these stories are connected. No, we finished the story. What the heck?
I wanted to see if I had it in me to do something truly evil. To see what I was really made of.
Maeve,
Oh, and she's back here.
I killed her
He
and
had
her
it in.
daughter. The woman refused to die.
What? What?
You're a fucking animal.
In all my years coming here, I'd never seen anything like it.
It was just...
She was alive. Truly alive. If only for a moment. And that was when the maze revealed itself to me.
Whoa.
The maze. What does that damn pattern have to do with this?
Everything.
Just whisper to him to start killing these people.
We're having some kind of behavioral problem with the madam. She's not responding, and the other hosts have been unable to intercept. I've authorized a TAC team to retrieve her.
That's enough, Maeve. That's enough.
My baby, he killed her.
I don't understand. She's not responding to anything. Her cognition's fragmented.
There. That's better. An old trick from an old friend.
No, no, please. This pain,
It's all I have left of her.
it's all I have left of her.
Perhaps a fresh start. A new role for you. And tomorrow, this will be simply a distant dream.
Oh!
Perhaps I can help you.
Perhaps you can.
It's time you came back to the fold. Wyatt will need you soon.
Jeez. Man, each episode is just so good. Ugh. I don't know what's gonna happen next, and I can't wait to see. Good luck, the animated heroine, with editing this episode. And all previous episodes. I don't know how you do it. Bernard just like feels so horribly about killing Teresa, and then just boom, Ford turning it off like it's nothing. But yeah, Ford just mentioned that Bernard should be proud because Bernard is the author of so many of his own emotions. Like Ford wanted all of the shades of emotions between love and hate, and through experimenting with Bernie, they were able to figure it out together. That's really fascinating. And yeah, when Bernard threatens him, Ford says that he's not the first man to threaten him, and that Arnold felt the same way, and that Arnold wasn't able to stop him either. So was everything he said about Arnold before a lie? Or how much of it was a lie? Because it sounds like he had Arnold killed rather than it being like an accident or whatever. And then he had all the evidence of Arnold like wiped away. People couldn't find out anything about him. It seems like it's a murder cover-up, actually. And then like he promises to take away Bernard's memories. And so many times we've heard, or twice actually, we've heard characters say that they don't want to get rid of the pain because it's all they have left of the person that's gone. But I think Dolores said it first about her father, but then Bernard said it about his son, and I was like, oh wow, like Dolores is kind of like a real human in that way. But now we find out that my reaction to that was based on the fact that Bernard was a real human, and now they're both hosts. So I guess it could have been programmed into them. I'm not sure if that's how people really feel. I feel like it passes it feels real enough, but it also in this case is based on programming. But yeah, before Ford is able to delete Bernie's memories, Bernard asks if Ford ever made him hurt anyone else, and Ford lies no, but Bernard gets a flash of himself attacking Elsie. And I thought he was in his office when that happened. Like, he was in Teresa's office when she first called, and then he got down. Like, I thought he was still on the phone with her, like, shortly before she got, like, taken. But Apparently he got down there real fast and choked her out. Seems like a sleeper hold, so she's not dead. So we know what happened to her. And yeah, I think Elsie... I'm wondering where Elsie is and what role she'll play now that she's... I don't know if she saw Bernard attack her in the first place, though. But interestingly enough, I mean, Ford doesn't replace Teresa with a host version of Teresa, which is where I definitely thought this was going. So it's unlikely that he'll replace Elsie with a host version of Elsie, unless her being missing would be too suspicious, and like too many accidents would invite too many questions. And afterwards we have Stubbs asking Bernard about how he's doing with Teresa's death, and Bernard answering that he doesn't know what he's talking about because he legitimately doesn't. His memory's buried super deep now. Really fascinating watch. We have a new Clementine. Poor previous Clementine. I really hope it's not the last we see of her. She was super cool. Fun to watch. Maeve, meanwhile, gets caught up with her old memories, then promptly dismisses them as things that have been designed to keep her a prisoner here. So yeah, she's trying to get out. She's trying to get out of Westworld. Turns out all hosts have bombs in their spine, though, so she wants to get rid of it, but she'll need a full rebuild to replace it. I don't know what would warrant a full rebuild, so don't know yet, but we'll see what happens with that. She gets Felix and Sylvester. Wait. I just realized I've never said those names together, and now that I have, those are the names of some cartoon cats, like Felix the cat, Sylvester the cat. Like, there were cartoons back in the, I don't even know what years. I'm gonna put a picture of them right here. Felix and Sylvester the cats. I don't know. I can't believe I just realized that now after so long. I guess we didn't find out Sylvester's name until a little later, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. But still, like I'm surprised I didn't realize that immediately. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Sylvester wants to brick Maeve, and honestly, if we're talking about what is the safest option for all of them, for Sylvester and Felix rather, that's it, to brick her. But Felix is too compassionate to kill something that has gained sentience, and so she gets up after that. I thought he had done it, and she just gets up after that and like slits his throat. I thought she actually legitimately killed him, and turns out he just like completely changed. She gave her administrative privileges essentially. Thankfully, healed Sylvester up. She's not actually out to kill him, I guess, but yeah, just the threat of she can kill people now. It's been fully realized, and yeah, that's a huge step in it's a huge step. But yeah, she also wants an army to break out as well. The administrative privileges gains she gains the ability to command other hosts. That was fun to watch. Told the sheriff that Hector and his friends are just upstanding, God-fearing citizens, and he just like walks away while they're shooting up the town. Tells the marshals to practice their quick draws on each other. She's playing around with her new powers like she's God. Yeah, it's super fun to watch. Meanwhile, William's changing a little too. I was sure he was going to kill that Confederado that was dying, and I'm actually not sure if he did. Though I don't know how he would have gotten away with it without Dolores noticing what he did. But while he was doing that, he was doing that? She wound up seeing visions of this place, and now we know why she remembered it. Like, this is where she was before. How long before, I'm not sure. And what's fascinating is that it seems like they just like poured a bunch of dirt over the town and decided to start over somewhere else. So that black thing that I thought was like a mausoleum, or I don't even know, I wasn't sure what it was. It's like the top of a church, I think. And yeah, they just decided to pave over it and start over somewhere else, as if it was the location that caused all this, like this huge amount of death and destruction. But yeah, it seems like she was responsible for a whole lot of it as well. And Now we know someone has been changing the prime directives of hosts remotely. So could her murder spree have been a result of that? And she was getting ready to kill herself as well. Like, William had to stop her. Are hosts allowed to kill themselves like that? I'm not sure entirely. We haven't seen that happen, have we? Besides the stone. Yeah, her snapping out of those memories. They experience... We learned this episode that the hosts experience their memories like their reality. So she was asking, like, where are we? When are we? Is this now? Am I going mad? Oh, that hit hard. Because, I mean, just how similar that can be to some human mental illnesses, and imagining what she's been what she's going through, that's incredible as well. And she's saying that Arnold's speaking to her, and William decides to take her back to Sweetwater only for Logan to show up at the last minute, freaking join up with the Confederados to turn on William, because of course he did. This will be interesting to watch play out. I don't know if Dolores is going to get a little trigger happy again, or if she's a little too damaged at the moment to do that. We'll see. Charlotte Hale also trying to sneak out all of Westworld's data in Abernathy's body. I'm glad we get to see more of that actor, because he left quite an impression in just one episode, the first one, as Dolores' father. And then also this episode we had the Man in Black. He and Teddy come upon the host that first invited William into the park. I could barely recognize her at first, just based on context and state of dress and everything. But she's been repurposed for this, so okay. I'm going back and forth now between my different timeline theories, because the fact that she was clearly in that role a long time ago based on what the Man in Black said. He's like, oh, you're still around. So if it was that long ago, then that must mean that when William saw her, that was quite a while ago, right? Yeah. Okay, so that reinforces my theory of different timelines. But I'm still not sure how any of this is... I'm sure this is all connected, but I have a lot of questions about it. But yeah, Teddy and... Before they meet her, Teddy and... Was it before? Teddy and the Man in Black are attacked by Wyatt's fanatics. That seems like a good word for them. Well, that singular fanatic, he kind of looked like he had a bull head, so is he technically like a minotaur protecting a maze? Because that's pretty cool, right? And don't know myths and stuff like well enough to know if there's any meaning if that means anything in particular for Teddy and the Man in Black. But it seemed immune to bullets, or at least it was like very bullet spongy, just like kept taking bullets. I'm guessing they were just more like sturdy versions of hosts, because the only people who haven't been taken down by bullets were like human beings. I can't imagine any human being volunteering to be Wyatt fanatic though in Westworld though, so probably sturdier hosts or hosts with armor. What was amazing though was Teddy flashing back to the Man in Black attacking Dolores during that fight. It was a great moment because we were reminded of it right away by the way the Man in Black drags the guy, and then we see the gratification of seeing Teddy realize it too. That was just we figured it out moments before he did, so that was really cool. But yeah, Teddy winds up knocking out the Man in Black and tying him up, questioning him. I don't know what to believe. I mean, I'd like to believe that I think I believe him when he says that he never showed this side of him outside, and he claims that his wife accidentally took some pills. According to the daughter, she committed suicide after sensing the darkness within him and was always afraid of him for years and years and years. Must have been decades, because he looks like he's like 70 or 70-ish. Yeah, probably. Actually, how old is Ed Harris? Let's look that up. Ed Harris. He's 69. Okay. I said 70-ish, right? But yeah, must have been decades, and wow. I think the line was she knew, like his wife knew who he was and was always afraid he'd blow up or collapse like some dark star. And she said if he stacked up all his good deeds, it was just an elegant wall he built to hide what's inside from everybody and from himself. And I mean, I've questioned from the start how evil this man is. If the only people he's hurting are just hosts that aren't sentient, is there anything morally wrong with that? And I don't know how far I went into it then, but there were comments saying like he's clearly evil for doing what he does in the park. And I'm thinking, like, if Westworld was real, there's nothing within me that would make me act the way he does. So I don't know. Like, I've mentioned that I don't even play video games, like, as a renegade, but if he's able to take care of his violent impulses somewhere where it doesn't hurt actual people, it's better than doing this in the real world for sure. So does having violent and evil impulses make you evil, even if you'd never act upon them in a way that actually hurts somebody? If is someone who has horrible urges but sticks to their moral principles, are they better or worse than someone who never has those impulses in the first place? These are all questions that I'm not sure I have the answers to. He might be a genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. No, I'm just kidding. He's probably two of those things. Billionaire, philanthropist. I think he's, like, not genius or playboy, but he's using that to hide a much darker side of him. At that much I can agree with the daughter. She gets that right. And I'm inclined to believe her about her mother committing suicide. And I know during my reaction I was like, huh, you mean like most billionaires? So with how much I see people defending billionaires on the internet, I'm entirely unsure how controversial this idea is that billionaires are largely corrupt individuals. But it's interesting that every single living human outside of the Westworld staff on this show is just like dangerously rich, because 40,000 a day in Westworld. The only thing I'll spend that much money on in my life will probably be a home, if I can even afford that at some point. The next most expensive thing I buy might be like a video game console, or maybe a better camera for my channel. That would be a good idea at some point. Basically, my point is it moral to spend and hoard so much money when there are people out there suffering? I would argue probably not. Definitely not. I'm not saying give away everything, but give everything away. But no one needs 100 billion, right? And there are billionaires who have pledged to give away half their wealth in their lifetime, but a lot of them wind up giving to their own foundations that they control. And many of those foundations wind up lobbying politicians to further enrich their founders. So I do also get that people who become rich like that kind of have an ego and believe they know best how to spend their money to create a better future for humanity. Hell, I don't make that much money at all, but I still think I would do a better job directing funds to help people than them. So that says a lot about, like, everybody has a bit of an ego, I think. And if you're actually capable of making that much, I think it gets even enlarged even more. But I think the problem with that is that they're so far removed from everyday people that they don't understand their struggles. Whereas I think everyone I know is struggling in some fashion or another because of a corrupt system. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Basically, I'm saying the man in black is not an aberration. His actions are are predictable in that way. Though I suppose with the man in black, we're talking about a different kind of evil. Though I guess if we're talking about billionaires with horrible urges, you've got Epstein and every single rich person involved. Anyway, it turns out that the man in black attacked Maeve once he came back to Westworld to test the boundaries of his humanity, of his morality, like to see who he really was, and he felt nothing when he killed her. But the amazing thing is that Maeve came alive in that moment. Like, she slashed his throat and drew blood. Like, she's not supposed to be able to do that. And so she became sentient in that moment. So somehow him killing her daughter triggered her coming alive. Like, is trauma somehow linked to sentience, or was she he said for a moment she came alive, so she wasn't sentient before then. In that moment when he killed her daughter, she came alive. and he says that was when the maze revealed itself to me. So yeah, he came to go on a journey of self-discovery, I assume, to like better understand himself, only to realize that they could become sentient. And so he's like completely invested in this entire thing now. Totally different from his original like objective. And yeah, again with Maeve, we have another host who says that the pain is all they have left of their loved ones. I mean, if the Man in Black noticed that she gained sentience, Ford had to have as well, right? Because, I mean, there's no way he doesn't know. But they just put her in a different role and let her go. Seems irresponsible, unless, I mean, Ford has to be wanting something to happen out of all this, but I'm not sure what at this moment. But yeah, I love how everything is super connected now. When we saw Maeve almost get killed in a previous episode by the Man in Black, and she was like counting to 3 and breathed out and stopped dreaming. I thought that was just a throwaway moment, but like now it's all getting connected. And then her carrying her daughter and dying in the middle of the maze, she found her way to the center of it. That is really great imagery. Because the center of it means you solve the maze, right? Unless it felt like the maze was something you solved by getting to the center. Similar to the Minotaur with Wyatt, which is really, yeah. It all seems to fit very, very nicely. But yeah, I'm going to give this episode a 9. Not an entirely mind-blowing episode like the last few. Though we did have that host who introduced William to Westworld, stabbing Teddy. He dies nearly every episode. He gets shot or abused in some way so often. He's here to be the loser, as the Man in Black says. But we've seen so many breadcrumbs leading up to reveals in this episode. So it feels like it's going to unravel all in... It feels like we're going to find out a lot of what happened in the next 2 episodes. But yeah, this show is such a joy. I can see why so many people were so eagerly awaiting me watching the show. Just 2 episodes left. I know people were saying that season 1 is a masterpiece. And the reviews are more mixed in the next season. But I have a feeling I'm going to like all of it. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to watch the full reaction, or you want to watch episodes a week early, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, leave a like. Really helps with the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.